Hi, Madison. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thanks for agreeing to meet and speak with me today.
Absolutely.
Why don't you just let me know what's been going on with you lately?
For sure. So I'm a third year student at the University of Waterloo, and I'm just finding that I'm very stressed. I'm feeling that it's very hard to organize everything that's going on in my life, and it's causing me to be overwhelmed, for sure.
Absolutely. Are there some things that you have, strategies that you're able to use to keep organized, or things that you try to do right now?
For sure. So I definitely keep an agenda and take down lists and leave myself notes and stuff like that for constant reminders and to like lay out everything that's going on. And then I also try to like give myself time to do things that aren't related to school.
Okay.
In order to feel less stressed.
Okay. That's great that you have that awareness that you need to do other things to sort of de-stress. What sort of activities do you do?
I love hanging out with my friends and family. It's a great distraction, and they're very positive, so it's good. Also, just doing little things like reading a book or watching a movie. I love being outside.
Right.
So, yeah, just definitely doing some of those things. And I go to the gym as well to try to, keep everything happening. Yeah.
All right. Have you noticed how your body feels or how you feel after you do those activities and then come back to your schoolwork?
I find most of the time that I'm less stressed because, taking a break is really good, and then I can come back and I can be more focused and be productive.
Right.
But then there's sometimes when I'll like be out with friends and either like one I'll dread coming back to doing my homework,
right,
or I'll come back and just feel like I should have been doing my homework the whole time.
Okay.
So sorry, almost like a waste of time.
Okay.
Like being out and doing something else because there's just so few hours in the day almost.
Right.
So it's a mix of both, but usually I feel less stressed.
Okay. Do you have some expectations set up for yourself on what it means to be a student? Or I just noticed you saying that you felt bad for taking time for yourself sometimes.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So for my program specifically, the fourth year is an international placement.
Okay.
And in order for us to get that placement, you have to have above a 70 average. I know for like most universities, it's like D's get degrees, so as long as you pass, it's fine. But for us, you have to maintain a 70, and Waterloo specifically is very hard, like academically. So for me, my personal goal is to always get over 70, and this year I'm finding it really hard because I don't know. Everyone always tells me that there's always a shift. When you go into third year, it's like things kind of become real.
Right.
And I've definitely felt that. Like I have some really hard classes. So keeping that average is something I'm really struggling with right now.
Okay. Are you aware of any resources, maybe at the school or at home, that you have access to that may help?
Both my brother, I have a brother and sister. They're both older than me, and they've both been through university, so they're definitely helpful. My boyfriend's in the same program as me, so he's someone that is easy to like bounce ideas off of with and just talk to about our classes because they're very similar. And as far as at school, there are some resources. There's like the writing center and stuff like that, but not to bash Waterloo, but I find that the resources aren't as helpful as they should be.
Okay.
So it has been recommended for me, like from a professor, to go to the writing center, and I did go, but it was just like less accessible than I had imagined.
Okay.
So the resources at school in particular, like kind of are there, but aren't as effective as I would hope.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are you hoping for the future? Like, how could you see things going better? How would you feel?
I would feel fantastic if my grades would up a little bit. For the future, though, I think that something I really need to do is kind of go to, like, ask for help more.
Okay.
I kind of shy away from asking for help just because I almost don't want to be a bother to people. I know, like, both my brother and my sister, they work full time. So it's, like, a little bit difficult for me to, like, ask them for help sometimes. So I think that something I need to do more is, like, talk to professors themselves.
Okay.
And hope that they would send me in the right direction, or, like, understand that my like, me asking them for help is, they would kind of, like, respect it more almost, and then see that I'm struggling, and but I'm not really sure.
No, I think they're definitely there to be a resource to you, or hopefully can be. Do you have, you mentioned your siblings, do you have some people in your life who you think would be interested in how you're doing and want to help you?
My parents are fantastic. They're constantly, keeping in touch with me, making sure that I'm on the right track. And also, like, I have friends that are, like, school friends who I'm in school with, and friends from the past that, like, constantly, are checking up on me, make sure I'm okay. So yeah, I definitely feel like I have people who, if I'm really struggling, that I can go and see, which is amazing. And, like, my family, like, my whole family, my boyfriend, like, it's all
Great.
good. Yeah.
That's nice that you have that support, that you feel there. What about time for yourself? Is that something that is factored in?
It is. It's, like, kind of difficult to do. So this year I'm actually running a conference. So come February, I'm, like, having the conference, so I have a lot of responsibilities. So that, on top of being in school full time, is hard to find time for myself, because, if I'm not doing that, then sometimes I want to be out with a friend, or, I'm running errands, like getting groceries. Like, I don't have a car, so everything takes a little bit longer.
Right.
So I try to find time for myself, but it's difficult.
It's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Right. How do you, when you're telling the story about how you feel, or I don't know if you've noticed when you're feeling stressed, like, any sensations in your body, or?
Absolutely. When I'm, like, feeling stressed, my whole, like, all of me feels drained.
Right.
Just, like, this past weekend, actually, I just found it was, like, really difficult to motivate myself to do my homework. So I just found, when I'm stressed, I feel more tired, even if I have enough rest.
Right.
So that's really, it's demotivating. So It makes it hard for me to want to get up if I'm so tired. I just want to, like, sleep some more. I also find that, like, sounds weird, but, like, my muscles kind of ache.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a symptom, but I just, like, feel strains on everything, and I personally have, like, a bad back, so I find that it's really tight when I'm stressed. I think it's, like, subconsciously, I, like, tighten everything when I'm stressed.
Right.
So I feel it, like, all on my
back. Right. Okay. Sometimes it can be helpful for people to be mindful of what activities, like, give you energy, and which ones drain your energy, like you had mentioned. Maybe that's something you can think about later, or if you know some activities that sort of give you that energy, that could help you tackle some of the challenges that you're experiencing.
Absolutely. I think that being with people, I'm an extrovert, for sure, and being with people, usually, opposite of drain, gives me more energy.
Right.
So that's something that I like to do. I find if I'm, like, stressed and alone, I just, like, replay everything in my head, and I'm, like, constantly thinking about everything, and it almost makes it worse.
Right.
So I definitely turn to other people if I'm like feeling stressed. Yeah, I think